Good evening, good morning, and good afternoon, wherever you're tuning in from. You're live from the University of Eastern Africa, Baraton. This is exclusive SABU panel once again, and my name is Arasa Inoxinda. This is the only place you can get very exclusive interviews, especially as we look to see who is going to be the next leader in this forthcoming election. We have an opportunity to interact with the presidents today. Unfortunately, we made an invitation to both the candidates for presidency. Unfortunately, one team did not make it because of one reason or another. Our calls went unanswered, messages went and without being responded to. Nevertheless, we still have a team that is willing to have this interview. Straight from the University of Eastern Africa, Baraton, we are joined with one part of the team that is running for presidency. They're going to introduce themselves. Then we're going to kick off this debate. May not be really a debate, but we're going to have a session to just gauge and see how much they are ready for this position. Straight away, I'm going to introduce them as a team. Let them introduce themselves one after the other. Ladies first, then men just before.
Good evening. My name is Lorena Diambo. I am a third-year student in the Department of Education, Humanities and Social Sciences. And I'm here with my president.
Thank you. My name is Laban Kipchumba Yego from the Department of Education, Humanities and Social Sciences, aspiring to be the president of University of Eastern Africa, Baraton.
All right, thank you very much. And of course, we're going to start this discussion, or rather this conversation, in a very unique manner. They are all aspiring to lead this university in the presidential, or rather in the presidency position. I'm going to ask them, what is it that you saw that you would do as a president that the other president could not do? What is it that you saw or that you see and that you still feel that you can do better than the previous president, since you're all looking to lead the university or lead the students as president and deputy president respectively?
Thank you for the question. Thank God for giving this opportunity. It is just like a dream. It is not just as what previous people have said, phantasmagoria. It is not just an illusion. Determination, unity, serve to be served. The president of University of Eastern Africa, Baraton, we need what we call togetherness. I'm aspiring to be the president because, one, we have vision. Do I say we have or I have? Because I have my deputy president. We have a great vision for our school at large.
All right, thank you. One response would mean a response for the other. What is this one very, very crucial thing you would do if elected today as a president? What is this one major thing you would do? Your first job in office if elected today? I think I'd go with the deputy.
The one major thing that my government is going to do, you see, we just after the campaigns, and what we need to do first is unity. We first need to have unity between the elected SABU members. After having unity within the SABU members, then we will have unity between the students and the SABU members. Then after that, unity between the SABU members and the administration. It's unity, unity, and unity. Yeah.
Do you have a different thought? Let me call you Mr. President for now.
Let me echo what my deputy has said. Unity. You see, when I want to go far, I work with people. When I want to go faster, I work alone. But I don't want to work alone. We are not self-centered leaders. That is, we are not megalomaniacs. We are not narcissists. But in this togetherness, in Kiswahili we say, umoja ni nguvu, utengano ni udhaifu. We are building the greatest team ever to serve you students and to serve the administration.
All right, thank you very much. I'm going to take you to a different question. For you to be president, one of the thresholds is that you must be a baptized member of SDA. Why is it important for you to be baptized member of the SDA? And probably, do you consider it anyhow important? I'll begin with the president, then the deputy president will take over.
Thank you for the question. Before we made the application, we were told you must be a baptized Seventh-day Adventist. The reason is this: Seventh-day Adventist Church have their principles or their fundamental beliefs. Those are the 28 fundamental beliefs. Meaning, being a leader of this institution, you must be the leader of spiritual. That is, you know the values and norms of Seventh-day Adventist, and you know from spirit. You must do it from the spirit to the letter to serve, not forgetting to serve God, so that we can serve humanity for a common goal. That is the reason.
I think what my president has said is what I also wanted to say. But just to add on it, the fundamental beliefs of the SDA Church. If I, as a leader, know the fundamental beliefs of the SDA Church, I wouldn't want to lead my students astray. All I will do is to lead my students in a right way. Yeah, thank you.
All right, I'm going to give you a follow-up question in line with the same. We have, in this university, we have different denominations. We have the Catholic, we have the Muslims, we have the AIC, Dinia Musamboa, followers of Prophet Awar, and all, you can name them. There's so many, just to mention but a few. If students come to you today and ask you to make a provision for them so that at least they can, at least once every Sabbath present, let's say this Sabbath we have the Catholics, next Sabbath we have the AIC, the other Sabbath we have a different denomination, what would be advised? Would you allow such to happen? Don't you think that that would be a way to unify the student body, denominations? What's your take on this specific issue? Let's begin with the deputy president.
On that issue, what I would like to answer is that every church or every denomination, they have different fundamental beliefs. And as the leaders, we wouldn't want to isolate them or do what? The difference comes in that there are different fundamental beliefs. And if we bring these people together, we'll find out that they have different fundamental beliefs and there might be a disagreement. So what I will do as a leader or my government will do is like we can set up a place for the Catholics, a place for the Muslims. For example, the Muslims, they normally worship during the Fridays. We can tell them on Fridays you can go to this place and worship. The Catholics on Sunday go to this place and worship. We respect all the denominations. But when it comes to the Sabbath, we all have to gather in the church. Yeah.
In addition to that, we know that we have one God to serve. And the greatest enemy to ourselves is the difference in our religion. But we have to respect the Seventh-day Adventist fundamental belief, as we respect for the Catholics, the Muslims, and all other denominations. Giving them an opportunity, there will be no quarrels among the students. There will be no quarrels among the student administration, even the student leaders and the student themselves. So we have to unify together, giving each and every student an opportunity to serve God in their own way, as they are stipulated to.
All right, thank you very much. Such a very good response. The Vice Chancellor, I don't know whether you've interacted with the Vice Chancellor. He's a man that is respected. He's a man that is feared with equal measures. I don't know whether you've had a chance to interact with him. Let me just get a yes or a no first before we can ask the question.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you think you can object the Vice Chancellor? For instance, if you're the president and she is the deputy president, you may have some decisions made by the university which does not favor the students. Are you bold enough to stand and tell Professor Philip Mayo, this one, we agree to disagree? Are you bold enough to face the Vice Chancellor?
Yes, I am. I've interacted with the VC on several occasions. First in the church, in the administration, just passing by. I usually greet him, by the way. So, you get the first impression from someone the first time you meet the person. The first time I met him, I greeted him and he replied. Meaning he's a very good person, he's a very interactive person, and I think I can interact with him at a personal level to make sure that the needs of the students are met. Yeah.
All right, before I go ahead, Mr. President, you'll have to go to the Vice Chancellor's office as the last resort when, for instance, if you have to deal with disputes for students. And probably he's one person, I've been to his office several times, and he's one person who can just look at you and you tremble. He's one person who can open his mouth and say, President, and you tremble. Have you interacted with him? How can you describe our Vice Chancellor?
We usually say when head is well positioned, we don't mind about the legs. Our VC is like our father. And a father loves his or her children the way they are. Meaning, by the way, and we've interacted with VC in many occasions. As my deputy has said, we have interacted in the church, we've interacted in our assemblies. And long time ago, when I remember when I was still a second year, we were doing a work program in this school, and usually when he passes by, he has to know our affairs. How are you going on, my lovely children? Is like our father. And when he's my father, I don't fear to be with him in any conversation. I think so.
All right, so you're saying that you would work with the Vice Chancellor, you'd easily interact with the Vice Chancellor on a friendly basis. Would you tell him when he's wrong? Would you face him and tell him, Professor Philip Mayo, on this one, let's agree to disagree? Would you do that?
1 + 1 is equals to 2, not 11. Meaning, when I give a conversation with a VC and says no, and he gives me a conversation and I say no, we have to, as I had said earlier, we want a common goal. So if we don't achieve a common goal, we'll be suffering. Either the students and the administration. So we have to join a bandwagon together to have a common goal as an institution at all.
All right, thank you very much. We have incidences whereby we would have people, outsiders or other students, ex-students or just outsiders or lecturers, going on social media and having this, making posts which rather attack the university in one way or another. Some allegations would be true, some would be rather not true. As a president, if you come across such an incident whereby somebody has decided to post something which causes defamation, how would you take or how would you deal with this specific matter as a student president?
First of all, we want to deal between the facts and the allegations. We first write down in these things which have been posted to taint our school. First things first. We draft the what are the allegations, and we draft those which are facts. So those allegations automatically we do what? We get rid of it. But we have to solve these which are true. So, and we are not just going to solve immediately. We are going step by step, one by one, so that we can have we cannot have the difference between the administration and those people who have posted those kinds of miscellaneous things. So we have first to draft the truth and the allegations. We get rid of the allegations and do what? And we deal with the facts, so that we all of us can be satisfied.
Just to add on that, my president, we want to get rid of the allegations. We have to go back to the students and tell them these and these were allegations, they were not true. And those which are true, we have to go to the administration and ask them, this and this has been said, and we can confirm it is true. What are you planning to do? How are we going about with this? And we'll make sure that we come with a solution on that. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much. Such a good response. Moving on, maybe let me get to give you a very simple question, a true or false. In the Senate, of course, I believe you guys know the committees that you sit in. Maybe let me get to first hear if you know the committees you sit in, then I'll ask you something about the Senate. You have the response?
Yeah. The deputy, I am in the disciplinary committee, I am in the security council committee, and I'm in the student services committee. Yeah.
So the committee that I'm going to sit on is the committee of the academic standards, the committee of student affairs, and the committee of student affairs subcommittees, to see whether we are going to serve the student in the right way.
All right, a question for you, Mr. President. The Senate is one of the highest decision-making body of this university. In that Senate, you've just said that you sit in there. Look at yourself and look at the dean of schools. Who is bigger than the other one? Look at the situation. You're the president and there's a dean. You both sit in the Senate. Who is greater than the other one and why?
I think the president is greater. The dean in the Senate, in the presidency, I'm greater. But in the Senate, we are all the same because my vote counts when we are making decision. So I think the president is greater than the dean. And then at the Senate, as we had said, my count vote and the vote of the dean counts. Yeah.
So what you're trying to say is that in the Senate, if a decision is made, your vote counts, and that makes you equal. But in real sense, don't you think that the president has a multitude of students behind him, and the dean just has a handful of students, maybe from the school? Deputy?
Yeah, that's true. The president has a multitude of students behind him, and the dean, as you've said. But when we go to the Senate, it's the vote that counts. The president is himself. The dean is by him or herself. So they're all equal. Yeah.
All right, just a follow-up question. Is it maybe another true or false? Is it true that SABU government can sit? SABU is powerful, by the way, and is of course, they have the constitution which guides them. Can SABU sit and vote and declare that they are going to disband the Senate? Is it possible that SABU can easily sit and disband the Senate? If you have the response, yes or no, support your answer. Let me go to the president first.
Senate is bigger than SABU. Senate is where we form, we legislate, and rule out the law. Meaning, Senate can break down SABU, but not SABU to break up the Senate. I think so.
All right, Deputy President, you believe that SABU does not have powers to disband, or rather, maybe if a decision is made by Senate, the SABU government cannot sit and just call it off?
Yeah, it's the Senate. It's the Senate that is big than SABU. The Senate is the big fish here. SABU is just a small fish. Yeah.
All right. Let me get to know whether you know your roles as a president and the deputy president, since you're trying to be in this office. Deputy President, I'll begin with you. Do you know your roles? Mention at least 5 roles, probably in your docket. And then, President, please also mention your roles so I can at least see whether you know them.
Thank you. As the Deputy President, I stand in for the President when the President is not in, or in absentia of the President with his consent. That is one. Second, I'm in charge of the welfare. Third, I'm a medium between the school and the community. Third is that I'm in the disciplinary committee, I'm in the security council committee, and I'm also in the student service committee. Fourth is that I'll be working closely with the public relations office to make sure that the security is well covered. Yeah, then the last one, I think I should give the president to give out his roles as I could.
Thank you. So the first role of the president, as I had said earlier, um, is to represent student at the academic standard, student affairs subcommittees, and the role of the president is to another role. That is role number one. Number two, the role of the president, in case of a tie in some of the election, the president have a right to vote. President have full mandate and responsibility in all SABU transactions, being a signatory for all SABU transaction. Another role of the president is to chair all meetings of the Student Executive Council. Another thing, fourth is the president chairs all the meeting, and the president also uh, act as an ex officio, for all the all meetings of the Student Executive Council.
The last one is that I shall do all the assignments given to me or assigned to me by the president. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much. Such a very good response once again. Let me move a little bit out of your roles. If probably, let me give you this question: that now that you decided to come in and run for presidency, you must have watched the previous government. Is there anything you'd point out as their weaknesses? Is there something you'd point out as their one thing they failed? And is there anything you guys can do to make sure that you better that specific thing?
Yes, there are some things we have to improve. Student leaders, student relationship. I think in the previous government, they had to unite themselves first. The difference between leaders, all leaders, we have first to unite all leaders amongst ourselves. Number two, the weakness, there were no good relationship between leaders and the students, meaning we have to do what to as being elected in, we have to have good relationship between the SABU leaders and the student to foster what a common goal. Another thing, we as the last government, despite the fact that there are some goals they achieved, we have to make it better to come up in most of the things. That is the thing.
All right, Deputy President, do you see any problem? Probably you were in this government, last government, and talking about faulting that government. You were in the government. Would you still fault your government, and what would you mention as a failure in that same government that you sat in? I believe you're the clerk. All right, please tell us what was some of the mistakes or the failures of that specific government.
To mention the failure was also part of that failure. So one of the things that I think we should have done better is communication. Students selected us to be here, to be there. So we had to do the communications which we didn't do. And as we are getting into this government, we are going to make communication to the students a priority. Any small achievement, we must inform the students. Any problem that we have, the students must know. We won't have it at heart. We must let it out also to the students. Yeah.
All right. As you leave the government, before I give you a chance to sell your points, as you leave the government, you're required to have a certain project for the students, or rather, as a SABU government that would leave as a legacy. Probably in the what was the project that this government that is leaving did, and what would be the difference between their project and your project that you intend to do? I don't know whether this is the right question, because I might be selling your secrets to the other party. If you're comfortable in answering this one.
President.
Previous government bought a car for the student. You are in the government, and you bought a car. That is good. It is something that will foster easy movement of students, either when they are sick or when they are going for burial. But our government, God is going to lead. We have a biggest project. Electing us in, students are not going to suffer anymore. In which manner? Um, Empowerment. We need more production than consumption. In which manner? We have great land tract in Baraton University. Why don't we cultivate that tract of land to give us food in Baraton, giving us good quality of food, giving us less to student Barasi there, giving them the cheapest price, opening up the largest grocery in Chesume sub-county. So we have to leave a legacy of production, farm production, either dairy and the groceries, so that we can foster every student comfortability in Baraton University.
Probably trying to figure out how would this using of the land to do production help the student. Maybe I didn't get this one clear, because you're trying to do a project that would assist the students. At least the previous government came up with this vehicle that would ferry students probably when they are sick and in case of any emergencies. This project that you're talking about coming up with maybe a production, agricultural production, how would it help the students?
Okay. Well, it's going to benefit the students is that the students are going to be the main source of labor. And when they are providing labor, they're not going to do it for free. Yes, that's what I'm trying to do. Students are going to work in the farms. Students are going to plant. Students are going to cultivate it. And through that, it will be a form of a work program. And many students are going to be, they're going to be involved. Yeah, such.
All right, if the other team was here, I would definitely would wish to see how you both interact together. I don't know whether, do you believe in yourselves, or do you believe that they can beat you? They're not here, unfortunately, to answer that question. Maybe, I don't know what you guys have. Do you think they have the powers? I look at you guys and I feel like maybe you're scared of them. Are you scared of them? So if they were here, probably, would you still say in their face that you're better than them? And how are you better than them?
Our theme is impossible is nothing. And my president can explain it further. Yeah.
You know, something dealing with impossibility is not of us. If we are not going to win, we are going to win. We are winners. Everybody is a competitor, but there is that notion, that feeling that this thing you are going to win. Impossible is nothing. Yeah.
I have been going around and I heard that this team, you're scared. I heard that you people are scared. Probably they have the muscles. Can you put it straight to us? Are you too scared? Are you ready for the battle? That was what I heard, that you two are weak and you're scared. Can you defend that allegation? Or if it's true, say it's true, we are scared.
We are not scared. It's very evident in today's meeting. We were called, they didn't show up. So we're scared. It's the other team. Yeah.
Okay.
We showed up. We are not scared. Yeah.
So are you trying to say that, in fact, you're not the ones who are scared? It is them who are scared? Is that your stand, President?
They could have come here so that we can face each other. So we can do all things in Christ who strengthens us. So if we have strength from Christ, who can go against us? Yeah.
All right. It's a clear indication that this team is not scared. That is why they made their way to this conversation. And they have faith that they will win it through the help of God. Well, maybe because of time, let me ask you guys to look into that camera and talk to that electorate. Remember, it is not about you. It is about them. Convince them that you're better than any other team. Let me begin with the president.
We are the biggest team. The team of impossibility. From what is unknown to known. Your vote counts. Comrade for the comrade. Do we are going to lead you, comrades, to greater heights. We need you, comrade, to assist us to foster and to have a common goal, unity. Unity amongst us and new comrades. Unity amongst us and the institution at large, so that we can serve each other in one way or another for the success of everything. God bless you.
Thank you. My president has said it all. Vote Diego and Adhiambo. The delegates, please, please, please vote us, and we will be very grateful. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment that you all have been waiting for, to listen to the conversation between two groups of aspirants, one that is not present and one that is present. Unfortunately, we would have created a platform for you to gauge who is better, but we could not do that. Nevertheless, we've given you an opportunity to gauge this specific team, and they are confident that they are not scared. That's why they came here. The ball is left on your hands. It has been SABU, exclusive SABU panel. It's been a great moment interacting with these leaders. All the best to all of them, the previous ones, these ones, and even the ones that didn't come up. Still, we wish them all the best. But for now, I'm going to say thank you for tuning in to Barton TV. Thank you for joining us. Thanks to this team. Once again, as you go to vote, don't just vote. Listen to the leaders. Get the best out of them. We want the best leaders, and that is what students are demanding for. It has been a great moment. And of course, when it comes to Tuesday, vote the best leader. It's been good. It's been great. For now, so thank you. God bless. All the best. Once again, vote wisely. Thank you.